No Fade channel. Checking in. Jonathan here with the Ritfit M1 2.0, an all-in-one complete home gym. We're talking functional trainer, power rack, Smith machine, pull-up bar, lat pull-down, low row, dip attachment. It's got weight storage and it even has a landmine. This thing is a budget bodybuilder's dream come true. But what's the catch? My longtime subscribers know that I absolutely love to beat up on home gym equipment companies. There hasn't been a company out there that's been spared my wrath, especially Ritfit. But I gotta admit, I think their engineers are finally watching my videos and taking my criticism to heart because they may have just cracked the code on this one.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Right away, we are off to a fantastic start. Ritfit delivered many of these pieces pre-assembled. Just the aluminum pulleys alone coming in pre-assembled easily saved me 35 minutes. Now the instructions were actually good for a change, and they went a step further to even label the uprights in the up position so that you don't make any boneheaded mistakes, only to find out at the last possible step that you gotta take it all down and do it again. It seems like all-in-one home gyms are a dime a dozen. So what is the Ritfit M1 2.0 doing to separate itself from the competition? Well, it's coming in at an exceptionally low price point. The plate-loaded version as of today is sitting at $1,000, and the version that you see here, the selectorized version with the weight stack, comes in at $1,900. And to be quite honest, they have been throwing different sales from time to time, so as you can imagine, check out those links in the description because they may be at an even lower price point. But what do you actually get for that price point? You get everything, and I do mean everything. Clearly a Smith machine, which is a bodybuilder's wet dream. You get the functional trainer with the aluminum pulleys, you get the multi-grip pull-up bar, you get the weight storage, you get the power rack, you get a landmine attachment, lat pull down, low row, dip handles. You get it all. Now, one thing that the Ritfit M1 2.0 does that sets it apart from so many of the other all-in-one home gyms: aluminum pulleys.
And it feels different. It feels fantastic.
Most of the ones on the market that are budget, they come in with plastic pulleys. And I know you people on the home gym Discord, you savants, even many of you on the Garage Gym Reviews Facebook group are gonna be quick to type in the comments that plastic or aluminum, it doesn't matter. What matters is the bearings inside. But from my experience, which is well more than yours, I have found that the plastic pulleys use inferior bearings. So when you go to use it and you expect to get that local gym feel, you get a clunky, just not right experience. Well, Ritfit has these aluminum pulleys pre-assembled, as I've already mentioned, and they are buttery smooth. Coupled with the 2-to-1 cable ratio, you get not only a beautiful motion with these pulleys, you also get a nice long cable travel length for some of those crazier functional training exercises. I've been clanging and banging away with the Red Baron now for over a month, and I've even got some fantastic workouts in my garage gym with the doors open now that the New England weather is finally easing. So here's my takeaway on the Ritfit M1. For those of you that are bodybuilders and you love to isolate, you get this Smith machine, which has incredibly smooth motion, and it has 2 sets of safeties. I did a dynamic drop test on here and it didn't flinch, didn't budge, didn't deflect. Now, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, you know I love my multi-grip pull-up bars, and the one that Ritfit delivers is actually pretty good. The majority of pull-up bars out there come in with a glossy, smooth finish. Now, this one doesn't have knurling, but it has a flat coating on it, almost like a powder coating, that actually gives it some nice grip. With a total height of 85 inches, this Ritfit M1 is going to fit in any farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, closet, shed, basement, gym, or even your garage. But that height isn't going to limit you when it comes to the functional trainer. This has 11 different height options, and I found that it was tall enough for me to do tricep pushdowns and even pullovers in terms of my height, which as of today is 6'1". Before you mass monsters complain that this all-in-one home gym can't handle your max lifts, each individual side is rated for 450 pounds. So you absolutely can go ham when it comes to those super heavy lat pull downs or low rows. The only difference between the plate loaded and the selectorized version, which I have here, is that the selectorized version comes with a 132 pound weight stack. But with the 2-to-1 cable ratio, that's only gonna feel around 65 pounds. Now I know for you pituitary eating gorillas, that's not nearly gonna be enough weight, but for the majority of us doing actually functional exercises, that's going to be plenty of weight. But Ritfit did think of that, and they actually added on the selectorized version an additional ability to add plates to each side. So you still can get the best of both worlds. You can have those quick changes of weight with the selectorized pin, but when you want to go super heavy, you want to go all out, you want to find your way to 1 rep max city, you still can on this bad boy. Ritfit has also done a fantastic job providing a number of different attachments for the functional trainer, so you don't have to go out and buy anything. Even the handles come in with a little bit of nice knurling. Ritfit has even gone the extra mile when it comes to storage. They give you a spot for your safeties and your J-cups in the back of the rack. They also provide some nice convenient hooks for your attachments. I love how they've even added locking pins for their footrests for your low row as well as the landmine. This allows you to not only get these on and off quickly, but once they're in place, you throw in that loading pin and they don't budge. What's the catch? And I'll be completely honest, if I had bashed this Ritfit M1 from the start of the video, this thing probably would have had 10 times the views than it already does now. But I'm gonna be completely honest, the Ritfit M1 2.0 is very, very good, but it's got some shortcomings. Now, they're not deal breakers, but I've got to mention them, starting off with the dip handles. Usually, a lot of these companies, when they go all-in-one, they want to throw in these dip handles, but they're absolute junk. Now, these tend to be mediocre as far as dip handles go. Yes, you can dip with them. They do work, and they fit, and they're snug, and they're safe, but there is no grip on here whatsoever, and the diameter is pretty small, giving you even more difficulty when hitting those dips. Now, one thing that was actually so, at least in my opinion, were these J-cups. Now, don't get me wrong, they're safe, they work, and they even have protective lining so that your barbell doesn't get all messed up. The one thing that they don't have is what I call a large landing zone. So when you are throwing the weight back on a heavy squat or a bench, you really don't have a lot of room here to kind of catch it before it hits the power rack itself. Now, it's not a big deal. If you did want to get a beefier version, a taller version, you can go on Amazon and pick up a pair for like under $50, but it's something I wanted to mention. The safeties I actually thought were a bit beefier than these J-cups. I wish they had just done a bit more on these J-cups to over-deliver in terms of what they're giving you. Now, the other catch when it comes to the Ritfit M1 is the Smith machine. Now, this is a polarizing piece of equipment. I will say that the Ritfit Smith machine aspect of this all-in-one, it works great. It feels good, it gives you the safety that you need, but for many of you watching this, you're not going to find use for it. If you're a power lifter, if you're training for strength, Smith machines just aren't gonna be in your wheelhouse. Now, if you're a bodybuilder and you're looking to isolate, or if you're training by yourself and you want that extra safety, Smith machines are absolutely great. The best thing about this Smith machine is that it will store out of the way up high if you are not using it, or it will store exceptionally low all the way to the floor. The final major boss when it comes to any piece of home gym equipment has to do with the price point, specifically this Ritfit M1, the selectorized weight stack. Now, each side is 132 pounds, and for 264 pounds, you are gonna be paying $900 more than the actual plate-loaded version. As of today, the plate-loaded version is exceptionally low, and the selectorized version isn't on sale. So these things could flip-flop depending on the time of the day or the week or the sales that are going on. Check the links in the description to see which has the better value. But keep in mind, if you go with the selectorized weight stack, for many of you, that's only gonna feel like 65 pounds on each side. So for your heavier lifts, lifts, you're going to have to load plates on there anyways. I definitely wouldn't sleep, at least at today's prices, on the plate-loaded version. Now, this all-in-one home gym does give you the ability to bolt this to the floor if you so choose. But if you're lazy like me, you're not going to bother. So how does the stability handle when it's not bolted to the floor? It doesn't budge. And I will say, honestly, I do have the selectorized version. So you've got effectively 132 pounds pushing down on each side to kind of keep this thing stable. But I'm not using the weight storage in the back. I only got these 15s on here. I will say that if you did have the plate-loaded version, but you utilize the weight storage in the back with weight, you would find that this thing is not going anywhere. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts. And if you are looking for an all-in-one home gym that doesn't compromise on performance, you've got to look at the Ritfit M1 2.0. They have been making some great improvements on their releases lately, fixing some of the previous problems and simply listening to criticism. And they absolutely delivered on this product at an exceptionally low price point. I mean, for under $1,000 as it stands today, you can get the non-selectorized version, the plate-loaded version of this, and you can be off to the races. Now, I will say that the selectorized version that you see here, it's fantastic. I think the price point as of right now, because they're not throwing a sale, is a little bit high compared to the plate-loaded. So if you are looking to be frugal and get the most value, shoot for the plate-loaded. But if you can find this selectorized version on a great sale, absolutely snap it up. Now, the only real issue with this budget beauty is the fact that you're not going to be able to utilize a lot of the fun 3x3 power rack attachments that have been coming out over the past few years. But if you want a 3x3 power rack that delivers on only half of what this Ritfit M1 does, you're probably looking at a price point of 3 or 4 times. And then you're simply gonna have to
pay that man his money.
Two things that you absolutely don't have to pay for: these two epically viral videos. As usual, thanks for watching, and don't save anything for the trip back.
Work completed.